Well, it looks like it might be another one of those years where, you know, my birthday goes by, and although my mood is good and I'm proud of myself for solving a lot of problems, I really still don't get anywhere. They still come. They still come. I had a headache, and I still was listening to a young lady who was happy to tell me about her life journey, about her beliefs, and who now lives on Vancouver Island, although we're very far away from there. And I was starting to get a headache a little bit, but I still gave her great listening skills, and she's a very nice person. But I wasn't super productive today. Saturday, the third, I tried to rest a little bit at the park that I hadn't been to beside the campground. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know this place very well, so it's hard to know where the quiet places are, if there are any. But last night, yeah, there was some weird behaviors by some young men with trucks, and I was surprised that the police didn't come. I don't have a phone number to call them, so it interrupted my sleep. But also I'm trying to read instead of like trying to connect to the internet at night, outside of a fast food or something and watch TV. So trying to read sometimes when it's getting dark and I'm still trying to read, I don't turn on my lights. I'm too much of a minimalist, even when I have functioning batteries and flashlights. So I'm ready to go from this parking lot after I put my garbage and go to start the vehicle, and it makes a noise I've never heard before. Second time again, doesn't turn the engine. Third time, it looks like the sound's different. And fourth time, it did start. So I don't know. I got to go underneath and see if the new starter got loose. I don't think it did because I put it pretty tight, but maybe it gets loose after a while when it's new. Locking washer and everything. But I didn't change the fuel pressure regulator yet. Might have something to do with it, but I mean, it didn't crank. So yeah, it doesn't look like I'd be escaping fires anytime soon. This is when I'd wish, I had a motorcycle in the back and as a sense of security, a secondary vehicle inside my first vehicle. I'll never be rich like Batman. But by the way, Batman is rich, okay? And some of what he does, there's donations. And some of it is to fund his crime fighting and even universe saving, okay? But the fact that he is rich, though, even for these altruistic things, means that there has to be people with less, right? There has to be poverty. As much as he tries to fight it, and much as, like one way to fight it would be to make sure nobody else is rich that doesn't use money the same way, like to reinvest in projects that his intelligence can come up with and his altruism can come up with, and his crime fighting financing would still be useful, but pretty much everybody else that's rich, although they might think they're trying to revolutionize something in science to make life easier for everybody, like let's say unlimited energy for a species that still wants to keep raping the planet. How's that a superhero instead of a supervillain? Anyways, this is so if extraterrestrials came, okay, he said, take me to your doctor of Humanics. We have just one question for him, because we already know that the species of primates that we're closing counter-terraformed the planet almost everywhere around the globe has failed. We already know. We want to ask the doctor of Humanics, the real one, the original, the one that really has been studying the human condition, the cause of them failing. And one simple answer could be, how do I say this? They worshipped the wrong higher power. Like they belong to something greater that exists in reality that's easy to prove, but they've always chosen to invent things that are unprovable to worship. and make a direct link to themselves as the center of the universe for this. That's pretty much it. So I think you know what I'm talking about. If they had understood that they belong to the greater system of Earth's biosphere, and that there was nothing else that they needed to, because that's where wisdom would lead them. If they did suffer from chauvinism and they wanted to include them being special all through the universe, then they would not have acted like this. And that's easy to prove, right? That we belong to this greater whole, right? This greater concept, this higher system, something worth worshiping. And in a way, it serves a little bit of our chauvinism because it worships ourselves. And then eventually, if we, kind of did the right things instead of the wrong things in worshiping what is real that we belong to, which is just at the planetary level, an amazing biosphere that's becoming less and less amazing every day that our species is on it, then we could have become something special maybe in the universe instead of just making it up through intellectual laziness and taking advantage of this group of people, this species, that species. That's pretty much it. I mean, it turned out to be a long answer, but it really is, there's always something greater than us that we belong to. And it takes one hell of a dumb species to make up stuff about what that is unprovable, and go to wars over it, and kill over it, and destroy biospheres over it, instead of just what we belong to, which is friggin' awesome. We are pretty screwed up to have screwed up a heaven. And again, if there was a God, and again, it's so ridiculous, infantile, and you can really tell how immature and how there's a lack of sapience in people's descriptions of their religions. But if there was one, I mean, the best way to test if a species belongs to heaven alongside this God, if they created something worth keeping, worthy of elevating to something higher, it'd be put them in heaven, which is this planet, and see how they do. Yeah, and we failed miserably. And the extraterrestrials would say, "We know you are the real Doctor of Humanics."